All right, calling this public hearing to order at 7:08 PM on Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. We're in a little delay waiting for the applicant, but we'll go ahead. This meeting is being recorded for transcription purposes only, and only the written minutes and attachments, if any, will serve as the official record of this meeting. Any personal conversations should be saved until after the meeting so that those attending virtually may hear. Any board member who has a monetary interest or has a conflict, including ex parte communication, should disclose now. And I will now ask the secretary to call the roll.
Calabro.
Here.
Hope.
Here.
Selesnik.
Here.
Schaefer.
Excused absence.
Rubel.
Here.
Schrader.
Here.
Romanowski.
Here.
And Mr. Romanowski sitting for Mr. Schaefer. And also in the audience is some Inspector Wilson.
Right, and I think, is there a trustee in the virtual audience?
What is your virtual? Thank you.
Okay, so let's start off by getting the legal notice read, if you're ready, Judy.
The Hinckley Township Board of Zoning Appeals will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, June 28th, 2023 at 7:00 PM at the Administration Building located at 1410 Ridge Road, which is on the southwest corner of the intersection of State Routes 3 and 303. Subject of the hearing is as follows. An application for variance AP 0274 was submitted by applicant Gerard J. Miola Jr., architect, on behalf of Anthony Rohm, property owner of 2073 Notting Hill Drive, Hinckley, Ohio, permanent parcel number 01603C04071, requesting a variance to construct an addition at stated address in a location that does not meet the minimum side yard setback of 30 feet. Inspection of this property will take place on Saturday, June 24th, 2023 at 10:00 a.m. Zoning reference, Chapter 6, District Regulations, subsection 6R1.4.e of the Hinckley Township zoning regulations. Copies of this application and other supporting material will be available for public viewing from the date of this notice to the date of hearing at the zoning office located in the Administration Building at 1410 Ridge Road, Monday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Tuesday through Thursday 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and Friday 9 a.m. to noon. Information may also be found on the Hinckley website at www.hinkleytwp.org under Community tab, News and Events, titled Board of Zoning Appeals Public Hearing. All interested parties are asked to attend this hearing or to send written comments to the Hinckley Township Board of Zoning Appeals, P.O. Box 344, Hinckley, Ohio 44233. Log into www.hinkleytwp.org or Zoom option to observe/listen only. Must be in person to speak/participate in meeting.
All right, thank you. And has the notice been sent to the appropriate property owners?
Yes.
All right, the Hinckley Township Board of Zoning Appeals acts within the authority of Section 519 of the Ohio Revised Code and exercises its powers as provided under Chapter 7 and 13 of the Hinckley Township zoning regulations. All public hearings are open to the public. All persons wishing to testify must do so from the podium, must identify themselves and give their residence address, and they must be sworn in. Evidence and testimony must be pertinent to the hearing. It is at my discretion to limit personal comments, personal attacks, opinions, and or repetitious statements or testimony or evidence previously given. Disruptive persons will lose the right to remain at this hearing, and personal attacks will not be tolerated. This is a hearing upon the application of Gerard J. Miola Jr., architect, on behalf of the property owner of the property located at 2073 Notting Hill Drive, Hinckley, Ohio, for a variance from the enforcement of certain Hinckley Township zoning resolution sections to property owned by the applicant. The applicant has submitted a packet that everyone on the board should have, which includes the original variance application, site map, post edition prints, and zoning inspector letter. All are related to the variance being requested this evening. Notice of application was properly given in local newspapers, and the application has been available for public review and comment. I will now ask the secretary if we have received any phone calls or any emails or any correspondence regarding this application.
No, nothing received.
Nothing, okay. I note that for the record, non-written communication may be made by known or unknown persons not under oath at a properly noticed hearing is not accepted by the Board of Appeals as testimony. Each member of the Board of Appeals has been provided a copy of this application and a copy of each of the other documents submitted in support of it. At this point, we'll poll the board to see if they have received the application and also if they conducted a site visit.
Flabo,
Yes, and yes, on Saturday, the 24th was a site visit.
Yes, and yes, today was the site visit.
Selesnik,
Yes, and yes, site visit on Saturday, the 24th.
Rubel,
Yes, and yes, site visit the 24th.
Romanowski,
Yes, and yes, site visit also on the 24th.
All right, written communications from persons not present this evening may include communications that are not made by affidavit. Because these communications are made by persons not under oath, they are not accepted by this board. I also note that written communication may include some writing by affidavit by persons that are not present this evening and therefore cannot be subjected to cross-examination. These affidavits therefore will not be given much weight, if any, in the decision of the board on this matter. This board does have the power to grant the applicant's request for a variance. And again, those people that wish to speak must do so from the podium and must state their name and address. All testimony must be given from the podium. And at this point, I will ask the applicant if you could step up. And if you wouldn't mind, I need to swear you in. And please state your name.
Hi, George A. Neal Jr.
I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as you shall answer unto God.
I do.
All right, thank you. So if you can give us a summary of the variance that you're requesting on behalf of the applicant this evening.
So the variance we're looking for is a side yard setback variance. There's a small portion of an addition on this home that encroaches the 30-foot side yard setback. And so that's what we're looking for is the variance. So the reason being is that this particular residence has a two-car garage, which makes it very difficult for the homeowner to park cars in and lawn equipment, and has two teenage drivers, young adult drivers, that they can't put all the cars in the garage at the same time. So so we designed this addition in order to give them that access for two additional cars for their four-car family. And as I was looking at this overall and understanding, we have practical difficulty of, trying to accommodate what's going to allow them to function with parked cars in the garage. I looked at this property and I said, this is a pretty wide piece of property. Why couldn't they have moved the house when they built it over, 10, 15, whatever feet? And I realized that the topography on this site, it slopes quite a bit. And at the time they built it, and I wasn't involved, but I have to believe the decision was, this was the best place to put the home, simply because it would have required a lot more earthwork, which is, again, contributes to the cost of building. So I believe that the addition is going to be an enhancement to the neighborhood. I don't think it's going to be detracting. So I realize that's not practical difficulty. That's just an observation or a comment. But I believe that the practical difficulty of having a place to park the additional two cars is the main reason we're presenting this for a variance.
So it'll be for personal use.
Personal use, yes. And they'll be able to park four cars. And then on the backside, because of the site, the grade dropping off, we're going to have a basement below it that they can use for storing lawn equipment, outdoor things.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
We're not an architectural review board, but I mean, the addition is going to be similar to the house and kind of
Yes,
blend in.
right. And I believe part of our package that we submitted included the elevation of what this looks like. You know, we're trying to make this look as presentable as, it's important to me. I'm an architect. I want it to be architecturally sensitive to the house.
The only reason I mentioned that is because we have one of the questions as to if it fits in with the neighborhood or if it's going to change the look or anything. So
Sure.
obviously. Okay, that's all I have.
But just for information, this really doesn't fall under practical difficulty. I mean, so they can park a couple cars. I mean, that's a self-made difficulty. So if you're going on that, this is a practical difficulty, I would say that would not hold water. Because, I mean, you can park the cars out in the driveway. You don't have to have them in a garage.
Well, the difficulty, you're right. It does not, there's nothing that says a car has to be parked in a garage. I understand that.
I just want to clarify that it's not, you can't go under a practical difficulty under this.
Okay,
So just to let you know.
okay. One of the things that I would say, and again, this has nothing to do with practical difficulty, the encroachment on the side yard setback it has just nominal impact on, the adjacent neighbor because their house is quite a distance away as well. So anyway,
Well, part of the hardship is that there's, because of the topography of the lot, there's really no other place to put this, right?
that is part of that part I would say is practical difficulty. There's no other real good place to put this garage. If I were, I mean, I've had situations where I've asked for variances because of that same situation in other jurisdictions, but I mean, from the homeowner's perspective, it was a practical difficulty.
Right.
So I appreciate, it's a self-imposed practical difficulty, and I appreciate your clarification.
Okay, one other thing. From this drawing,
Yes,
is there any changes from any of the dimensions?
no,
So this drawing is, what you're asking for is what you want right now.
absolutely. When we went about putting this together, I said to the homeowner, I said, you have to have a survey that accurately depicts where your property lines are. Because I have to know where the house is relative to the property line so that we can actually lay this out to show that we're 5.3 feet over the property line for this 5'4", 5.3 feet, 5'4".
Right.
Yes. And not to get technical, but the point is that, it's a little triangle part of the addition. It's not the whole addition, obviously. So
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
I just want to clarify. So I know we're talking a lot about the 2-car garage, but it appears that next to the 2-car garage, you're also going to be adding a master bath and a staircase. So for all practical purposes, there is enough space to just add the 2-car garage, but you're adding a 2-car garage and a staircase and a master bath.
Correct. And the idea is to make a reasonable connection. And again, you can say this is a self-imposed practical difficulty, but the idea was to give them obviously the master bath is an enhancement to the master bedroom, but the idea is to make a nice connection transition to the garage, which is, it's a larger mass. So it's an aesthetic thing.
Sure.
But that was part of how we got pushed out towards the property line.
Okay. Is there any reason why you couldn't elongate the back of this addition so that it would go within the setbacks, or rearrange this so that it would go within the setbacks? The bath more narrow, reconfigure the staircase to be kind of right next to each other rather than have I don't know if that's a landing in there.
And part of what's going on here in the back of the house is there's actually a deck that, we'd have to reconfigure that to allow the addition to go back that far. And then it becomes a challenge to make that fit, make it look architecturally coordinated, or, to fit in with what's the existing house has. So we thought about, how can we squeeze this in? I mean, we didn't come up with this and say, yeah, we'll get a variance. It's easy. because it's never easy. I understand you have reasonable questions.
But you're gonna have to take down part of the deck anyways, though, right?
There's,
Because-
there's a small corner that we'll trim, yeah. But I mean, to push the whole addition out, or not the whole addition, but to push that portion would really require a little bit more major surgery.
And has the HOA there approved this? yet?
Yes,
No, he asked my question. Thank you.
Anything
Okay.
else? Audience?
Good. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment or anything? Okay,
okay, that's
thank
it.
you.
All right.
Maybe at this point, if there is no one else, maybe we can do the Duncan factors. At this point. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Will the property yield a reasonable return, or can there be a beneficial use of the property without the variance?
Rubel,
Yes.
Romanowski,
Yes.
Selesnik,
Yes.
Yes,
Calabro.
Yes. Is the variance substantial?
Romanowski,
No.
Selesnik,
No.
Rubel,
No.
no,
Calabro.
No. Will the essential character of the neighborhood be substantially altered, or will adjoining property suffer a substantial detriment if the variance is granted?
Selesnik.
No.
no,
Calabro,
No.
Rubel,
No.
Romanowski,
No.
Will the variance adversely affect the delivery of governmental services?
no,
Calabro,
No.
Rubel,
No.
Romanowski,
No.
Selesnik.
No.
Did the property owner purchase the property with knowledge of the zoning restrictions?
Calabro,
I don't know.
Rubel,
Don't know.
Romanowski,
The honest answer is I don't know, but that's no excuse. So
I would agree with you.
Mhm.
Selesnik,
Don't know that answer.
Don't know.
Can the problem be solved by some manner other than granting of a variance?
Rubel,
Yes.
Romanowski,
yes.
Selesnik,
I'd say based on the plans, I'd say no.
No,
Calabro,
I agree, no. Does the variance preserve the spirit and intent of the zoning requirement, and will substantial justice be done by granting the variance?
Romanowski,
Yes.
Rubel,
Yes.
Selesnik.
Yes.
yes,
Calabro.
Yes. All right, any person adversely affected by a decision of the Board of Zoning Appeals may appeal to the Court of Common Pleas of Medina County on the grounds that such decision was unreasonable or unlawful. At this point, I'm going to ask for a formal resolution.
okay, an application for variance AP 0274 was submitted by Gerard Neola, architect, on behalf of Anthony Rohm, property owner of 2073 Notting Hill Drive, Hinckley, Ohio. Permanent parcel number 01603C04071, requesting a variance to construct an addition at the stated address in a location that does not meet the minimum side yard setback of 30 feet, a variance of 5.4 feet from the 30 feet requirement. Zoning reference, chapter 6, district regulation, subsection 6R1.4.e.
Second.
Second, I just want to make sure AP 0724
Yeah,
or 274. 274.
274, yes.
All right. All right, second by Dave. All right, so a yes, simple majority with a quorum present and is in favor of the applicant, and a no simple majority or a tie denies the applicant's request. So at this point, we will take a vote.
Calabro,
Yes.
Who,
Yes.
Selesnik.
Yes,
Rubel,
Yes.
Romanowski,
Yes.
All right, so your variance has been granted, 5-0. The applicant, the applicant has 1 year from the date of this hearing to begin construction or to act on the approved request. Anyone adversely affected by this decision has 30 days from the date in which the minutes of this hearing are approved to file suit and an appeal. Meeting minutes are typically approved at the next regular meeting, and upon the approval of these hearing minutes, such minutes will be posted and available at the township website. So at this point, do we have a, okay. I think we'll just brief break to get this signed. So what's your copy in the meantime? Do we want to have a motion to adjourn?
I shall move.
Actually, we should probably wait.
So
You hold that. Rose.
Yeah.
I'll hold that.
You're toured our fair little. version. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Well, so, I'll let you finish.
All right,
So,
at this point, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Dave, in a second,
Second.
and that's Bob. So we are adjourned at 7:31 on June 28th, 2023. Thank you all.